Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is Juan J. Johnson coming at you live from Lone Wolf Firearms Training on this August 2nd of 2023. So come on in, come on in, come on in. We're not going to rush it. The topic tonight is mental illness and firearms. We're going to have a brief discussion on mental illness and firearms. Now, I know many don't talk about that, but we're going to discuss that tonight and what you need to do. And if you have a mental illness, how it will affect you in firearms. So I need you to share this video, invite your family, friends, and maybe some of your enemies to watch this video. I believe it's going to be very informative. Again, we'll be discussing mental illness and firearms on today. Man, I'm hoping that my mic is good. I hope it's good. I'm hoping my mic is good. I looked at the last broadcast and the mic wasn't good. It wasn't as good as I thought it should be, but we're live right now. If you are interested in becoming a responsible gun owner and gun user, I'm gonna need you to go to Lone Wolf Firearms. I'm gonna need you to go to I'm gonna need you to go to lwftraining.com, lwftraining.com. Okay. If you are interested in becoming a responsible firearms owner or user, also, if you want your HQL, which is a handgun qualification license, if you are in need of a wear and carry or concealed carry, if you need your renewals, if you want some laser training, if you just want to just get rid of your gun, your rifles, your shotguns, go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com. And I need you to contact me. You can also go to lonewolffirearm@gmail.com. That's lonewolffirearm@gmail.com as well. Again, I'm not going to be before you too long. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm on all these sites: YouTube, Twitter, Facebook for now. And I need you guys to also share this video. gmail.com. I also need you to again. Hold up. Turn this down. I need you to subscribe to the channel. So let's deal with it. Let's go right into it right now. Let's deal with it. Let's go into the meat and bones of this discussion. We don't talk about mental illness and firearms, but you need to know, family, that there is a federal guideline that deals with firearms and mental illness, a federal statute. Let me read this real quick. This is dated January 5th, 2023. It deals with the federal law concerning the prohibition of mental illness and firearms. It says this: federal law generally prohibits possession of firearms and ammunition. That's number one. If you have a mental illness, you are prohibited from having the firearm and ammunition. See this again. Federal law prohibits possession of firearms and ammunition by people who have been found by a court, board, commission, or other lawful authority to be a danger to themselves or others, or to lack the mental capacity to contract or manage their own affairs. As a result of their mental conditions or illness, federal law also generally prohibits people from possessing firearms if they have been voluntarily hospitalized or committed to a mental health or substance abuse treatment facility by court, board, commission, or other lawful authority. If you see yourself in this description, you are prohibited. No federal law, however, requires states to report the identities of these individuals when they become ineligible to possess firearms. Let me say this again. That's very important. No federal law, however, requires states to report the identities of these individuals when they become ineligible to possess firearms to the National Instant Criminal Background Check database, which is NICS, which the FBI uses to perform background checks prior to firearm transfer. As a result, state record reporting laws are critical to ensuring the accuracy and effectiveness of background checks and systems. So let me just deal with that right now. Family, federal law, however, requires states to report identities to these individuals when they become ineligible. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the states don't report to the feds. If you know, and especially, let me say, in the state of Maryland, if you know, family, that you have been committed to a mental institution for at least 30 days, whether voluntary or committed, you cannot, I repeat, you cannot own a firearm or ammunition. And if you knowingly on your application process leave that critical information off, and they eventually find out that you have been institutionalized or committed or even voluntarily, you could face criminal prosecution for lying on your application. Okay? Let me read it again. No federal law, however, requires states to report the identities of these individuals when they become ineligible to possess firearms. Okay? As a result, states record reporting laws are critical to ensuring the accuracy and effectiveness of background checks. Watch this. Under Maryland law, when a person is admitted to a state facility providing mental health treatment for 30 days, for 30 consecutive days or more, or has been involuntarily committed to a state facility, the following information must be reported to NICS: the name and identity information of the person admitted or committed, the date the person was admitted or committed to the facility, the name of the facility to which the person was admitted or committed. A Maryland court must promptly report to NICS the name and identity information of an individual, the date of a specific determination or finding if that court determines that a person is not criminally responsible, i.e., committed to the state health department, finds that person is incompetent to stand trial, or finds that person should be under protection of a guardian because he or she cannot manage his or her affairs for mental health related reasons, except for cases in which the appointment of a guardian is solely the result of a physical disability. Maryland requires any facility that admits an individual with a mental disorder to submit a report to the State Department of Health and Mental Hygiene within 10 days of the admission. Okay? But let me get back to this. You cannot have a gun, shotgun, rifle, or any ammunition if you've been institutionalized for 30 consecutive days. Okay? So when you're in the process of applying for your gun application, when you're in the process of trying to get your HQL, when you're trying to get your wear and carry, you cannot, I repeat, you are prohibited if you've been institutionalized for 30 days, for 30 consecutive days. Okay? So do not lie on your application when they start to inquire about your mental health, whether you've been committed, whether you've been ordered through the court, whether it was voluntary. Again, in addition to the Secretary of the Maryland Department of Police Department requires as part of the application to purchase, rent, or transfer a handgun, assault rifle, the applicant's written authorization to the Maryland Department of Health and Mental Hygiene or any other similar agency or department of another state to disclose whether the applicant suffers from a mental disorder and has a history of violent behavior against anyone and has been confined for more than 30 days to a mental health facility. Courts must notify CJIS, which is the Criminal Justice Information System, of any committed order upon a determination that a defendant is incompetent to stand trial or a determination that a person is not criminally responsible because of a mental disorder or mental retardation. State law is unclear as to whether this information affects firearm transfers. Okay? But if you knowingly know that you have a mental condition, that you've been committed for 30 consecutive days, that you've been court ordered, you, my friend, cannot, I repeat, own a firearm, own a shotgun, own a rifle, own a revolver or a semi-automatic. And you cannot possess ammunition. So again, I want you to be mindful when you are filling out these applications, because sometimes these states are not reporting to the state. Sometimes these clinical or these hospitals or these institutions are not reporting to the state that you have been committed or voluntarily with a mental condition. All right. But you must do the honor system within yourself. You know, if you are legally able to carry a gun, and you know if you're prohibited. And again, if you're having mental, if you've been committed 30 days or more, if you've been voluntarily admitted, or if you've been by the court's order that you can't stand trial because you're unfit, then please do not, how I say this, don't lie on your application. Don't lie on your application. Don't. You know, it's not worth it. You can be convicted, you can go to jail, and you can pay a fine. You are not to be in possession of no type of firearm and ammunition if you have a mental illness and you've been institutionalized. You've been in a facility for 30 consecutive days. We don't talk about mental illness enough. A lot of us out here have mental illness. In every community, you have, but in all our communities, we have people who have mental illness. Okay, so just do not be very mindful. Be very mindful that if you know that you have a mental illness and you know you've been committed and you've been under a doctor's care and you know you're on those Paxils, those Resparols, those Zolofts, and you're being treated, and the courts have determined that you are not fit mentally to stand in the court or possess a firearm, do not go through the firearms process and try to get a gun, knowing that you are not mentally fit to have one. I'm trying to look out for you. I'm trying to make sure that you don't pay no fine, that you don't go to jail. Okay? Again, mental illness is very strong in all of our communities. And listen to me. I don't know if any instructor is going to ask a person about their mental health. I don't do that. I will watch you and check out your behavior and your mannerisms. I may put you to the side and maybe have a conversation with you. But the average instructor is not going to ask you about your mental health. You know if you've been committed. You know if you are prohibited. And if you don't know, now you know. 30 consecutive days. Let me read this again. Okay, 30 consecutive days. Has been confined for more than 30 consecutive days to a mental health facility. You cannot have a gun. You can't. Federal law, this is dated January 5th, 2023. Federal law prohibits possession of firearms and ammunition by people who have been found by a court, board, commission, or other lawful authority to be a danger to themselves, others, or to lack the mental capacity to contract or manage their own affairs. As a result of their mental condition or illness, federal law also generally prohibits people from possessing firearms if they have been involuntarily hospitalized or committed to a mental health or substance abuse treatment facility by a court, board, commission, or other lawful authority. And let me deal with that substance abuse treatment. Let's deal with that for a hot second. You cannot have a gun or ammunition if you have a marijuana prescription. You can't. You're going to have to get rid of it. You're going to have to get rid of your marijuana prescriptions. Okay? Substance abuse, you have now substance abuse convicted. Now we all know some folks in our circle who we know they own them substance hard. They just haven't been convicted. Okay. So we're talking about folks who've been convicted of substance abuse. All right. So do not be, you're prohibited, family. You're prohibited from having a gun. You are prohibited from having ammunition. Okay. So look here, I wanted to bring that to your attention. Again, I want to add value to your life. I want you to discuss topics that probably we have not talked about. Again, yes, Lone Wolf Firearms deal with the guns, but again, we will be dealing with the current events and the issues soon, very, very soon. But I thought this was a topic that would need to be discussed. Again, I see a lot of mental health people out here. I don't know if they've been committed, institutionalized, but you know you better than me. Okay, so don't be out here lying on these applications. Don't be out here lying, trying to get these guns and ammo, and you've been institutionalized for 30 consecutive days or more. You are prohibited from the gun and the ammo. Okay, so I want you guys to subscribe to this channel. I need you also to hit the like, and I need you to share it. And as you can see, the Cash App, the PayPal at the bottom of the screen. You can go to lwftraining.com for your HQLs. There is a class this week. I repeat, Friday and Saturday. There is a wear and carry, and there was a concealed carry class on Friday and Saturday of this week. You need to go to lwftraining.com and sign up. It's a 16-hour 9 to 5 on Friday, which is a Zoom session. Saturday is face-to-face one-on-one. But on Fridays, bring your notebook, your pen, bring your libation, have a seat at your computer. I will give you the Zoom link 20 minutes before the broadcast start. And we need you to start the process today to become a responsible gun owners and gun users. Okay. If you're in that Maryland area, the prices for the wear and carry is going up in October per the law. Right now, for $75 application fee, you can begin the process to get your wear and carry. For $50, you can begin the process for your HQL. Okay, but in October, Wes Moore and the Maryland legislators, they have decided to up the price to $125 just for the application fee. And I believe it's going to be $125 for wear and carry. And it's going to be like, I think, $75 for the HQLs. And they're going to make it very hard and very difficult for you to be able to carry your guns. So again, Friday and Saturdays are your wear and carry. Okay. They are 16-hour classes. Go to lwftraining.com. That's lwftraining.com and sign up for your HQLs, which is a 4-hour class. I'll say 4.5 or 5-hour class where you will learn how to reassemble, disassemble the laws of the state that you're in. You learn how to do some marksmanship. You learn how to properly store your weapon. You will learn when and when not to shoot the threat. Correction, stop the threat. You learn that. You learn how to clean the gun. 4.5 hours. I don't think it's enough time, but that's what the states require, depending on what state you're in. But again, do not procrastinate. If you've been having second thoughts and you wonder where to go to lwftraining.com, or you can write at lonewolffirearm@gmail.com. lonewolffirearm@gmail.com, and we will sign you up, get you into that class, and you'll be able to get that wear and carry. We do give certificates at the end of the class. And you will get a certificate of completion stating you took part in either an 8-hour class, a 16-hour class, or 4-hour class, or even an intro to basic firearm class. Starting Sunday, I will be coming live on Zoom, and we will have a wolf pack discussion. All those who are prior students, those who are interested in firearms, I will send the link, and it'll be like a private discussion, and we're going to discuss guns. We're going to discuss the laws. We'll discuss current events, because again, I think we don't have enough people talking about the firearms out here. We talk about the politics, we talk about protesting, we talk about reparations, but we ain't talking about self-defense. We're not. So I'm on that self-defense side. I see you, Michelle Terry, watching. Again, I need you to share this video. I need you to subscribe to the channel. I need you to support. Again, I don't know who's listening on what social media platform. I know I'm on Twitter right now live. I'm on Facebook live, and I'm on YouTube live for right now. But again, mental health and firearms. It's a serious discussion. You know now if you've been committed for 30 consecutive days, you're disqualified. You can't get a firearm. And you shouldn't have no ammo. And you risk getting locked up if you get caught. So with that said, go to lwftraining.com. LWF Training, which is short for Loan with Firearms Training. Go there, sign up for your class. I will see you in class on Friday. I have well, I'll see you in class on Friday. I'll leave it right there. With that said, always remember this. It is not how much you know, family. A lot of people know a lot. I mean, they're very smart. It's not how much you know. It's how much you care. With that said, have a great day. Have a great evening. And we are out of here.